Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 8:30 on Sunday the 18th of July. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we'll get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land, and again, it's an absolute scorcher of a day. Can't believe how hot this is today. I think we're in for another record-breaking temperature. Very, very green, which is nice. This grass on this side, I only did it the other weekend. It's getting really long again. Unbelievable how quick this grows. I'm not complaining too much because I do need to keep a bit of a supply going for the bees. And there's certainly plenty of clover for them. But look at that, how hot does that look? Not quite sure what we're going to get done today. I suspect it will be a short day, given the temperatures. I wanted to have a bit of a tinker with the watering system to try and make sure that I don't have problems this coming week, because this weather is forecast into the coming week as well. And even though I've been regularly coming down twice, sometimes 3 times during the week, it's been a real struggle keeping on top of the watering. And now that I've got tomatoes and cucumbers growing, I don't really want to muck it all up now. So we'll get ourselves opened up, get the kettle on, and we'll see what we get done today. Well, as usual, it's feeding time for the chickens. Ah dear, they went crazy this morning because I'm later than usual. They went absolutely bananas. They were trying to fight their way out of the pen to get to me. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Not a mess to clean up today. Hey, chickens. Oh, here we go. Look, we got 3 in this one. And nothing in that one, so only 3 so far this morning. Food and water's okay, I'll do that later. So, lazy chickens this morning. Mind you, it is still early for today's production. Come on, you lot, get that corn down here and get in there and produce some eggs. Right, I've got to dash back. I've thrown a few containers of water into the polytunnel, so I've got them filling back up again, so I don't want to flood. Well, good morning. Ooh, this is something you don't see very often, me in a t-shirt. It is scorching hot. My head is just dripping. It's like I've been in a shower. It's really scorching hot sun. Temperatures, where are we on temperatures? 36 and rising in here. But it's very, very humid as well out there. We definitely need some rain or a storm or something to clear the air. Yesterday was a record temperature in the UK. They said 31 degrees. It wasn't 31 degrees in here, I'll tell you. It was a lot more. In fact, I did put a, sorry for this, but I'm just dripping with sweat. And it's still very early in the morning yet. Yeah, I took a picture of the thermometers, one in the cabin, which was, I forget where it was now. It was heading towards 40, if not over. And just shy, 36, 38, outside the cabin. It was mega hot yesterday, and it looks like it's going to be mega hot again today. So I suspect I won't be here for that long today. I do want to do a bit of tinkering with the watering system, because that polytunnel is just getting so dry. Even with my best efforts during the week, the plants are, the tomatoes particularly, showing signs of stress. And having got this far with actual fruit this year, I don't want to bugger it up now. So I'll be playing with that. I'll probably pop a little clip on at some point. I'll probably mulch around the tomato plant pots as well with some of the straw I use for the chickens bedding. So yeah, it might be a bit of a shorter than usual video today, but I just wanted to quickly touch base on a couple of comments that I've had over the last few weeks. There's been the odd one here and there. I'm not sure how frequently the people that commented actually view the channel, and if they've viewed the videos all the way going back to when before I even got the land. And that's on the subject of prepping and whether or not this is a prepping channel. I would like to think it is, but as I say, I have had a couple of comments. So I just thought I'd spend 5 minutes just recounting my journey and what it is that I'm trying to... That's the smoke alarm. I think it's getting a bit too hot. And recounting my journey as a prepper and what it is I'm trying to achieve with the channel. You'll have to forgive me if I kind of go off on tangents, because I'm just making it up as I go along, as I always do. I started the channel, must be knocking on 3 years ago now, maybe more. I've lived in lots of different places around the world, and I've seen firsthand in some of the less developed countries how difficult it is to just get by day to day, particularly if you don't have access to all of the facilities and services that we have in what is a more developed country here in the UK. Though I'm not sure how long that will stay that way. I'll not go there. And people in those countries, they are prepping every single day. They don't call themselves preppers, they just do it naturally as part of their day-to-day getting through life. So they will store food in the home, ready for when there are periods of unavailability. They do grow as much as they can in whatever space they have, partly as a way of saving money, because fresh fruit and vegetables in some of these countries is actually really expensive. But really, to get through the winter months, they'll store the more staple foods, so potatoes, carrots, different kinds of beans. They'll store them through the winter because unlike here in the UK, they don't import, so that they have everything available, whatever the season. So, good example, here in the UK, if you want strawberries, any time of the year, you can get strawberries. When it's not the growing season here in the UK, we just ship them in from overseas. And things like lemons and pineapples and bananas, stuff that we can't grow here, they're readily available and cheap in the supermarkets. We just import them from all over the world, and we've got a supply chain that enables us to do that relatively cheaply. And that's not available in lots of countries around the world. Or if it is available, you have to be quite rich to be able to do that. So that kind of started me off in my journey as a prepper. I could see that things always don't go the way that you plan, and whether that's losing a job, or whether it's some kind of natural crisis, a flood, or maybe the grid does go down, which it does here from time to time, but very, very short periods. We're talking about a matter of hours before it's back up and running again. So it piqued my interest, and I started looking at prepping, doing a bit of research, and I started storing my own food. partly as a way to make sure that I could get access to the things that I normally eat in the UK on a day-to-day basis that weren't necessarily readily available in whatever country it was I was going to. I'd always had a long-term ambition to try and find a piece of land, and the long-term aim or hope was that I could build something myself on that land. But as I've talked about numerous times here in the UK, that's not a simple thing. In fact, it's massively difficult to buy a piece of land and build your own house. Yes, you can in a town or a village or a city where you can buy a piece of land, and as long as you're building standard construction, it's fairly easy to get through the planning process, but it's massively expensive. Plots of land for building, I mean enough to put a house on, forget having a big garden, just building a small house in a tiny space. And you're talking anywhere from 40, 50, 60,000 pounds upwards just to buy the land. That's not the cost of building whatever it is you want to build on it. And as I say, in terms of garden, pretty much forget it. You'll just have enough space to put a house up. Go out into more rural areas, it becomes even more difficult. Yes, you can buy land, you can buy agricultural land relatively cheaply, I say relatively cheaply, minimum 10,000 an acre for agricultural land. You'll find some rough and ready plots of scrubland or moorland or land that you can't physically grow on for a little bit less than that, but generally the starting point would be £10,000 an acre. So land is available if you've got the money, but getting permission to build on that land is nigh on impossible. The only real way that you can guarantee some degree of certainty that you can build something on a piece of land is if you go into farming and you buy more than 12,000 acres. Sorry, 12 acres. I wish I had 12,000 acres. If you buy more than 12 acres, then you can build a barn on that without permission. And you can apply for permission once you've built your barn for a residential property on that land, so long as you can demonstrate within a short period of time, I think it's something like 2 years, that you're actually living off that land and you're generating your income which is sufficient for you to live from that land. So you can't buy it, have a job and apply for permission. You have to be self-sustaining on that land and create an income from that land sufficient for your daily needs. So electric, gas, water, council tax, food, running your car, your basic day-to-day getting by. Other than that, it's remarkably difficult. And if you do get permission, there'll be lots of restrictions as to the type of property you can build, size of property you can build, so on and so forth. So it is massively difficult. So when I was looking for potential land, really, it was with the aim of having somewhere that I could produce food sufficient for my basic needs, build some experience on being off-grid, and maybe, if I was lucky, sometime in the distant future, being able to apply and be successful in getting residential planning permission for something on the land. So it's been a couple of years now, and over the course of those years I've tried to put out video content for people who have an interest in prepping, have an interest in being self-sufficient in terms of food, and perhaps who are interested in, over time, developing some kind of homestead here in the UK. So there's been lots of videos put out on pretty much all aspects of prepping, from the basic fundamentals of storing food and water to get you through shorter periods of grid down, or if you continue it, being able to go longer distance, so 1 year, 2 year, whatever. In terms of getting through with other necessities, so things like providing your own heating, your own electricity, your own sanitation, toilets. There are numerous videos on those topics as well. And I think there's enough content out there, if you go back through those videos, for pretty much any kind of prepper activity that you might want to think of, be that off-grid power, off-grid toilets, off-grid water, growing food, hunting, foraging. I think it is pretty much all there. So over the last year, I've been not neglecting those topics, because if you've done them, you've done them. The content is there. It's been more about that self-sufficiency garden, being able to produce enough food so that you don't have to go to the supermarkets. And that's been the focus for this last year, and it still is through this year. People who've been viewing the channel for a while will know that this year the objective was to try and grow sufficient staples so that I don't have to go to the shops to buy my potatoes, my carrots, whatever. And there's been a couple of videos about wild meat as well. I've started with my own chickens. At the moment, that's just purely for egg production. But as time goes by, again, the objective is to start to produce meat from that as well. So, a bit of a long ramble there, but as I say, it is in response to some comments that I've had as to what this channel's about. So hopefully that kind of clears up, and everyone can know what it is that I'm trying to achieve, and particularly this year what I'm trying to achieve. So let me know in the comments section, am I not doing enough of the more basic prepper type stuff? Would you like to see more content on things like off-grid power, off-grid sanitation, water storage, hunting, foraging? Would you like to see more content on what it is I'm doing now, the self-sufficiency garden, which has been a challenge this year, as you'll know? What is it that you do want to see? Because I am trying to put content out there for you. It's not for me per se. I know what I'm doing and I know what I have done, and it certainly isn't about monetization of the channel, because even though I am regularly putting content out, I'm doing 2 videos every single week, and where I can I do more. My YouTube revenue is the grand richly total of about $13 before tax per month. So I'm clearly not in this for the money. It is to try and show people what you can and can't do with basics, because I don't have endless money to throw at stuff. This is realistically within everybody's budget, I think. You might have difficulty finding land, but if you have a decent sized garden, you could replicate what I'm doing in a decent sized garden. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Are you content with the content as is? Is there something specific you'd like to see more of? Let me know. Anyway, bit lengthy that. It's probably going to fill the whole video for today, because I don't think I'll get a great deal done outside. Certainly not exciting stuff anyway. But do let me know what you think, and whatever I do get up to today, I will pop it in the video as I go along. Well, I've pulled in the old faithful battery box. Just rigged it up to this timer, which then goes into the pump. You've seen all this before. Just giving it a test drive, that's why everything's looking wet. But I've looped the little watering nozzles all around to the different plants. And from the water on the floor you can see it clearly works. The question is, will it work during the week while I'm not here? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. You might remember yesterday I mentioned solar panels briefly as an off-grid power source. It's really versatile, and while I've got those fixed panels on the roof for the cabin, you'll also know I've got this portable 100-watt folding panel. So I've just moved that here now to provide a recharge for the battery box that I've just popped inside the polytunnel for that water pump. So Prepper 101 basics. Off-grid energy. If you're going to be off-grid, you're going to need some form of electric, and 12 volts is really versatile. So I've just been topping up the water containers again. I'm kind of overdoing it today with the watering, but given the temperatures, because this sun is absolutely scorching again today. Where are we outside? Is it going to focus? Come on. 42, 44. That's in direct sunlight, but it is outside the cabin. Ridiculously hot today. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, there we go. I do spoil my chickens. That's some more lettuce from their personal vegetable patch. They do enjoy this, they really do. And I enjoy watching them, to be honest. A little bit of satisfaction. It's their little reward for the eggs they keep producing. And talking about eggs, there was a lot of clucking going on earlier, so I'm hopeful there might be some more in here. That's the ones I got this morning, 3. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Ah, there you go, well done girls. We're back up to quota for the day. 6 eggs in a day. Well done chickens. I do need to get in here and tidy up, but I think I'll sit and have a coffee first because I'm roasting. I've just retreated into the shade. It's absolutely roasting. I've just brought this little puppy out with me while I'm sat here, just in case we see anything pop up on the field. Crows, pigeons, whatever. When I arrived this morning, there was a tiny baby rabbit inside that fenced off garden area. No clue how they're getting in, and I went to grab this, and as I came out I thought I'd got it trapped with the chicken wire, but it leapt through the fence. Incredible as that might sound, it didn't jump over it or jump under it. The chicken wire is about 50 mil holes in it, and I actually went to the panel where it had leapt through, thinking, nah, I can't have it, must have gone underneath, and it's between some of those potato barrels, and it's definitely anchored to the ground. It definitely didn't clear it. It somehow managed to go through the mesh. Now I know it was a small rabbit, but I was literally speechless. I am now thinking about it, how it managed to get through that little tiny mesh, but it did. So best laid plans and all that, it seems like the baby rabbits can still get inside. They can certainly get out in a hurry because it was moving. It saw me coming and it was gone, which is a bit of a shame because I could have done with a bit of rabbit. Oh dear, anyway, whatever. So I'm just going to sit and chill for 5 minutes, and I hope literally chill because it's absolutely roasting today. I've just been going round and round and round watering. I will pop in the coop in a minute, have a good clear out and top their food and water up ready, because as usual the weekend's flying by, and I'll not be down until Tuesday night. Actually, I might make a point tomorrow of coming down. I've set the timer in the polytunnel, so I'll be tempted to come down and just see if it has done what I expect it to do and automatically watered, and then if not, I've got a chance to tinker with it. But yeah, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I hope you are keeping on top of your preps, so stay safe, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later. Well, I've mulched these, so there's not much else I can possibly do really to try and keep on top of the watering. So I guess we'll see during the week how we get on. We've actually got some decent sized tomatoes coming, and certainly a lot more than there were last year. A lot more. So I'm really keen to make sure that I don't lose them, because there is a lot coming. Especially on this one, for some reason it's gone crazy. But they are everywhere. Everywhere I look. So fingers crossed. And equally the cucumbers, they're all starting now to form. A little butterfly in there, floating around. Come on, do your thing on my tomatoes. Right, everything's pretty much as good as I can get for today. Everything's been thoroughly watered, and I've gone a bit overboard on the potatoes. I'm really itching for this sweet corn to do something. It's funny how you don't notice stuff. As I was driving in today, I drove past a field full of this, which isn't very common in this part of the world. Somebody's obviously trying to diversify. Anyway, that sun is still beaming out. It's still roasting hot, but I'm about ready to call it a day, so I think I'll get myself packed up. Well, that's another day and another weekend. The time just does fly by so quick. We've got some clouds moving in, which is really nice to see. The sun is still up there, blazing away, but yeah, we've got a little bit of cloud just starting to drift in. Fingers crossed we get a little bit of rain. I'm not going to hold my breath because it's not forecast, but we can but live in hope, because this is getting silly. Anyway, that's me done for another day. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well, enjoying your weekend, and I'll catch up with you later on in the week.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How has the weather been for you this weekend? And what do you think? Any particular subjects to do with prepping that you think I'm not covering as much as I could? Any special requests? Let me know in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.